Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Game Changer. I'm Mariam Zia. In today's program, of course, we will be talking about the important visit that interim Prime Minister Anwaarul Haq is undertaking at the moment to China. Of course, this visit is in regards to third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation, and he is undertaking this visit on the invite of Chinese President Xi Jinping. And of course, Prime Minister is set to meet important world leaders in this important visit as well. He has important meetings with different think tank members of China as well. And today he's also set to meet, of course, Russian President Putin as well, and Sri Lankan President as well. And he's going to be holding a bilateral meeting with President Xi Jinping as well. These are important meetings. And when we talk about this important visit, of course, all of this is happening in the backdrop of the celebrations of 10 years of the launch of China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. And when we talk about this third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation, one of the purposes of this is to attract foreign investments to Pakistan, and of course to discuss the changing global dynamics as well. Of course, the Prime Minister has important meetings, and he said in a tweet that he attended an insightful roundtable in Beijing on CPAC's decade-long journey, proud of the progress we have made elevating Pakistan's socio-economic landscape and strengthening our bond with China. As we reflect on our successes, we are geared up for its next phase, focusing on growth, innovation, and green development. Of course, in today's program, we will be talking about all these developments and the meetings he's going to be holding in the next schedule. We will be talking about the infrastructure and energy projects, and of course there are news and the sources are telling that 18 MOUs are set to be signed, are set to be inked in this important visit. We will be talking about all these developments and what can we expect from this visit and how this is strengthening Pakistan's relations with China. To discuss this and more, we are joined by expert in international affairs and journalist associated with CGTN, Ms. Dong Shui. Ms. Dong Shui, welcome to the program. So, Ms. Dong Shui, let me start with a basic question regarding Belt and Road Initiative. Of course, this third Belt and Road Forum is important for international cooperation. Can you tell us about China's role in these regional connectivity and regional economic cooperation projects, and how do you see the future of Pakistan's economic ties with China?
Of course, first of all, thanks for having me. And I want to say, so far there are about 140 nations as well as 30 international organizations that have been confirmed to come and participate in this year's Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. Meaning, for China's Belt and Road Initiative, which was launched and initiated by Chinese President Xi Jinping 10 years ago, that have we've already seen over 150 countries that have participated and signed various documents under the BRI. So you can see, how much money, how many cooperation that have been contributed to regional and international cooperation. And for the relations between China and Pakistan, I want to start by reiterating China's long-term friendship with Pakistan. Iron brothers and all-weather strategic partnership, other terms we use to describe relations between China and Pakistan. Chinese diplomacy is always nuanced and takes special care when it comes to choosing word in what is to be conveyed. While China describes its relations with the various friendly countries as strategic, comprehensive, or cooperative, but the Chinese leadership used the term all-weather for Pakistan in order to emphasize the special nature of the bilateral relations. Chinese leaders use another term of iron brother as well for Pakistan, underscoring their confidence in the enduring nature of mutual ties, meaning both countries have the first of all deep political trust, and most recently China has lent a helping hand when Pakistan was battled by monsoon rains last June, which has caused over 5,000 deaths, if I remember correctly. And during the period of COVID pandemic, China has also provided with 500,000 free doses of vaccines to Pakistan. So having said all this, because of this deep and solid political trust that leads to economic cooperation. CPEC, of course, one of the flagship project under the Belt and Road Initiative, which was also launched in 2013, has obviously we've seen a lot of infrastructure projects have done under the CPEC, and how it has been if affected local people's lives and even broadly regional and economies as well.
Of course, and when we talk about BRI and specifically CPAC, it has changed the entire spectrum of economic activities in Pakistan. Let's talk about some of the sectors in which you see the potential for cooperation, specifically when we talk about it in the context of ongoing Belt and Road Forum.
Of course, I want to mention three aspects, how, Pakistan has been benefited from the CPAC, its efforts on three-dimensional of, social well-being, namely, education, health, and housing. Projections indicate that, the growth rates of these three dimensions will be among 3.85% to 8.6% respectively, while leading to a very, substantial improvement, especially in living standards throughout Pakistan. Of all the regions affected by the CPAC projects, Sindh and Balochistan and Punjab are expected to experience the greatest positive changes, including the significant reductions in poverty and in unemployment rates and improvements in overall quality of life. So I think these are very concrete results coming, benefiting from the CPAC under the BRI project. For
of course,
Pakistan,
these are concrete results that we can expect, and that is the potential areas in which both countries can cooperate. But let's talk about the changing global environment, political environment. Do you think that can present some challenges to both the countries, and how Pakistan and China can cooperate to deal with those challenges, specifically when we discuss those in the context of ongoing Belt and Road Forum?
Well, in terms of the changing geopolitical landscape, since this year marks the 10th anniversary of this Belt and Road Initiative, and we've heard a lot of discussions and expectations. As 10 years is a very crucial turning point. For the past decade, China has been investing a lot, especially in terms of infrastructure projects. Chinese people have been built ports, railways, and bridges, and for all this for a lot of developing countries, but lies ahead, for the next 10 or even 20 years, China, I think there's a lot of discussion in terms of how China is changing its vision in terms of although it will continue to invest, but besides infrastructure projects, China will more focusing on like green development, digital economy. Yes. I think that will be the focus
in those areas, of course.
Step for the BRI.
Of course, and of course, thank you very much, Ms. Dong Chui, for joining us in today's program. Of course, we are talking about China-Pakistan Economic Corridor celebrations and Prime Minister's visit in that backdrop to China to attend a third Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation. And to discuss more about it, we have been joined in the studios by International Affairs expert and senior analyst, Brigadier Hamid Malik. Welcome to the program. And we're also joined by economist and senior analyst, Dr. Khalid Walid. Welcome to the program. Brigadier Malik, let me start with you. Of course, this is a significant visit when we talk about the changing geopolitical and economic situation in the world. How do you see, what are Pakistan's expectations from this forum, and what are some of the objectives that Pakistan's foreign policy has while attending this important Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation?
Thank you very much, Mariam. I think this Belt and Road Forum is the biggest diplomatic event taking place this year. see delegates of more than 150 country and
Yes.
with 32 international organization will be attending this such mega event. And Pakistan foreign policy is already geo-economic centric now. And I think the Prime Minister, the caretaker Prime Minister will get a good opportunity on the sidelines of this forum to have multilateral as well as bilateral talks with certain presidencies over there. As we see that already he has met with the a think tank of the
Yes.
Chinese investors and scholars, and he will be meeting the Kenyan president and also with the Russian president.
And Sri Lankan president as
Naturally, and many more also, because our diplomatic mission in China is going to organize certain meetings on the sideline, and this will provide them an opportunity where they can offer the economic potential CPEC has for not only for China, for the other part of the world. And also from Gwadar, they have also now the maritime route to the Gulf, and the energy from Gulf can move to not only to the China and also to the Central Asian states. So, the regional connectivity which CPEC offers to China, it is also available to the world to exploit that regional connectivity, and also not only trade, but also it is going to have mutual cooperation within the countries, as there are other sectors also which are available for the other countries where they can come and join hand with us, and we can also progress in that way, that IT, agriculture, mining, these are certain
objectives that have been
Naturally.
set forth by SIFC, and Prime Minister is going to be holding meetings in Urumqi as well with businessmen and investors over there. That is very important. We are going to be talking about that later in the program and the sectors. But when we talk about this important visit, Dr. Khalid, if I ask you, can you provide us an overview of the economic implications for Pakistan that Pakistan can achieve from attending this important forum?
Well, to understand that economic potential, we need to take care of or cater that China's bigger initiative, that is GDI, that is Global Development Initiative, and then GDI, under that GDI, the banner of GDI, there is a BRI forum, and then there is a CPEC, that is the subset of these two, GDI, BRI and CPEC. First phase of CPEC was to develop and make Pakistan sustainable. Second phase which is going to start is the expansion of that first phase. So what we need to do is we need to utilize that potential which we have harnessed in that first phase in terms of infrastructure development, in terms of hardware development. Now it is time that we take this opportunity forward and we work on the software side of the things as well, in terms of knowledge, in terms of innovation, in terms of technology development, technology transfer, so we can have this hard growth as well as soft growth in terms of human capital, in terms of technology, in terms of, I would say, digitization, digitalization, in terms of artificial intelligence, in terms of…
And digital corridor and health corridor have already been launched.
Yep.
So that is a step forward when we talk about the launch of a second phase of CPEC. So that is also important.
Yep, that is also important. Second thing is that what we have built in first phase, those were special economic zones. We need to bring industries into those special economic zones. We need to work on innovative and newer sort of arenas which are going to be altered or geopolitics and global trade. One of the example is that European Union has put another carbon emission fee, that is CBAM, or Carbon Border Adjustment Mechanism, which means that certainly all the imports coming into EU would have to be more related to tax, and there would be more imposed carbon tax on those. So we need to work together with the capacities and technologies of China so that we can have this sustainability going on in our industrial sector, and we have more carbon accounting coming into our economy, into our industrial sector, so that we are more competitive and we can deal with that sort of challenge that is coming in the form of CBAM or other sort of carbon emission fee or taxation in the future. So that would be a win-win situation for Pakistan and China as well. It is fascinating to see that caretaker PM is taking care of the CPEC at this very important forum.
Of course, that is very important, but to discuss more about it, we are joined online by Dr. Hasnain Javed, who is economist and expert in national affairs. Dr. Hasnain, welcome to the program. Let me start by asking the very basic question that when we talk about Pakistan's relations with China, how do you see this important forum to enhance the economic ties between both the countries?
So in actual, of course, it is still a flagship program. It is a most important in the geocentric approach or geographical approach. Pakistan, without Pakistan, the whole Central Asian state or the most South Asian, East Asian states, I mean, Pakistan is one of the most comprehensive flagship program of the BRI or the BRI development. And I must say that they are growing every day. So far now is a $1 trillion of the dollar have been spent to the whole world, and they have, I mean, clearly and categorically given the word to the whole world that they are just looking forward for the coordination, collaboration, and their perspective is just to give the economic boost to the whole world, not just to the, I mean, about the imperialism. And you know that, I mean, the current situation, where the Israel is the subject, where the Hamas is the subject, where is the other country is subject, where the Iran is into the different concept to the world. So where CPAC and the Belt and Road Initiative by the President Xi clearly stated that we need peace, prosperity, and now they are moving on to the different way, which is the green and the greening the Belt and Road Initiative. They have developed and Dr. Khalid was very right, and they have upgraded the system during the 2019 Belt and Road Forum Green and Sustainable Development of the Belt and Road Initiative to center stage together the debt stability. According to the Ministry of Ecology and the Environment, initiated the BRI International Green Development Coalition, BRIGC. That is what we call it. So within the 10 working group and the BRIGC aim to support the green development in the regard to green finance, green transport, green innovation, green urbanization, and green standardization. So in all these perspectives, China is going to have Pakistan along with all these subjects where the green finance, green transport, green innovation, and they are moving toward the better part of it. So which is complete greening the Belt and Road Initiative. And moving
but let's talk about the MOUs that are set to be signed in this important visit. 18 MOUs are to be inked between Pakistan and China. What are your expectations from these MOUs, and what are the sectors that are going to be main focus after the inking of these MOUs?
See, so all of the transportation, all of the power, for example, they are moving on to the green initiative, agriculture under the SIFC program. They are very much welcoming and promising to the green initiative. So green initiative under the agriculture development, they are very much focusing to that because 100 of the 100 commodity go into that matter. Then in the special economic zone, there are 100 of MOUs. We have yet not been finalized with the state-owned enterprises and other things. So now they are converting state-owned enterprises with collaboration with the China and then the SEZs, the economic zones. So under the SEZs program, under the flagship program of CPAC, they are going to have the 9 economic zone where the Rashakai, where the Bostan, where the other economic zone, they are going to develop it. And of course, the IT sector, the green development, and foreign direct investment into the different area where the infrastructure, and most commonly, they are producing and manufacturing all these things under the agriculture, because Pakistan main focus and potential is agriculture. And the second most important thing is the labor partnership. So we have in China, the labor cost is now much higher than anything else because they are moving on to the different side. Of course, their economy is getting better every day, right. And they are, focusing on the better inward thinking. They are focusing on the domestic development. Rather, of course, this is today is the poverty day or poverty eradication day also. So they are, completely the total whole sum of the Chinese poverty sector they make into the zero. So there is no poverty. They are elevating poverty every day. Right. So this is a wonderful subject. So now this way, so they are collaborating
to help the developing countries as well. And one of the purposes of CPAC is connectivity within the region and beyond. One of the focus of this visit is going to be MOUs regarding highways and motorways. How do you see the strategic importance of these MOUs and these connectivity projects?
Before answering your question, I would like to highlight what is BRI Forum and its importance for the world now and for us also. You see, it is on one side celebration of their performance, their goals which they have achieved, what they have given to the world. It is now the tangible in terms.
True.
For example, they have
There are
established their
lessons
links
learned.
from east to
Yes.
the Africa and going to Europe and even Latin America, and now they have also connected to the Gulf countries. This is the connectivity which is going to help Pakistan also. Now, they have established a very good, well-developed infrastructure in Pakistan, and this infrastructure is basically a vehicle for progress, that the energy can move from one point to the other. Few days before, we were discussing about the TAPI. Now, TAPI has also a link with this CPEC. If that connectivity, Afghanistan also join with us and Turkmenistan, that energy will be available to the complete region.
True.
And now, I must say that recently Pakistan took a turn from geopolitical to geoeconomic centric foreign policy, and this foreign policy is basically now will be manifested in this forum, where we are going to tell the world that now economics paves the way for progress also and mutual cooperation also. And China, which is basically the mastermind of this mindset and strategy, is going to also help Pakistan in all this regard. And
True.
CPEC is basically a regional connectivity project. It is not only restricted to Pakistan. Central Asian states are also available, and they can come and join us, even for India, for Bangladesh, for other regions, and through Gulf and Gwadar. Actually, basically it is going to Gulf and other parts.
Of course.
So, it is such a beautiful landscape connectivity project by itself, and with lot of economies on our neighborhood, that is Iran and India, the big two economies of the Asian countries, then China and then Russia. So, if we see the landscape of the CPEC geographically, we come to know that this is going to be bigger economy than the American and the Europe also. And if we go and follow the European community and model of that the borders are soft borders and people can move from one place and trade can be easily, and the Silk Route, basically the inspiration for the BRI, it is again connecting the Central Asian states to Pakistan and to India and to Iran and going up to China. And I think if it is again materialized through
Right.
CPEC, it is not going to give boost to Pakistan economy, but economy of the region.
Of course, but when we talk about economy, can you tell us about the financial aspects of these projects, especially when we talk about infrastructure projects and motorways and highways initiatives are going to be focused, and also MOU is said to be signed regarding the development of a highway research and technology center as well. So what are the financial aspects, and keeping in mind Pakistan's economic challenges?
Yep. Thank you for a very important question, because the second phase of CPEC or BRI under this CPEC initiative, that was people centric. First phase was infrastructure centric, and this
True.
is a people centric phase in which the Chinese and Pakistani governments both would be focusing more on capacity building, focusing more on knowledge, focusing more on technology transfer, so that the benefits of those infrastructure production and infrastructural projects that would be translated into people centric sort of way, so that people's capacity and people's ability to work that increases. This will translate into economic growth as well, not just in the hard form of the growth, but the soft form of the growth in terms of human capital development, in terms of, I would say, rising the education level, rising the health level. Those MOUs, those are signed in terms of agriculture, in terms of highways, in terms of road and connectivity initiatives that would obviously generating employment for Pakistani communities, Pakistani laborers as well. So this would be a very, I would say, catalytic and multiplier effect coming from the infrastructural side to people-centric approach. This would boost not only Pakistan's economic growth, but development in the sense of socio-economic prosperity of Pakistan as well.
But are there some environmental and social considerations that are needed to be addressed when we move towards these people-centric approach?
The first phase, I would give you an example of Pakistan's energy sector. When there was deficit of energy back in 2007 to 2013, China came forward and built those very much needed coal power plants, though that solved Pakistan's energy crisis. But now when we are faced with affordability crisis in terms of exponential tariffs, and we are faced with environmental degradation, this is time that we take it forward as people-centric approach, and we start to convert those power plants towards more environmentally sustainable plants in terms of wind and solar plants, in terms of investments coming into our transmission side, electricity transmission side, so that it would get more and more sustainable for environment, and definitely it would boost our economy in terms of curbing imports. It would help us elevate our environmental side in terms of curbing our emissions level, and that would translate into a people-centric development or social economic prosperity. Keeping in mind.
Right. So, Dr. Sen, Prime Minister is also set to meet important world leaders in this forum as well. What are your expectations from these meetings?
So, of course, I mean, the regional connectivity and telling the world that we are completely sovereign country and we will not dictated by any of the world. So, we are with the China, of course, with all of the essence. CPAC is there. We are going with the Central Asian state. We are going with the good relationship with the America as well. And of course, in every region, we are completely independent, and we are independent in every way possible. Moreover, we are very much informed, and we are very much into the governance of the Belt and Road Initiative, where it is being worked. Of course, if there is the skilled road funds, if the Chinese Development Bank, of course, this government and under the SIFC program, our main focus is getting the foreign direct investment. And for that area, I mean, I'm very much hopeful that the Prime Minister Anwaarul Haq Kakar would definitely meet the governance of the Belt and Road Initiative, which is compared to the other global initiative in G20, and the BRI currently does not have the formal governance principles, so not the secretariat. In 2014, the leading group of the advancing the development of the One Belt, One Road was announced. So, however, the little information has so far been available on this. So, on the other hand, many institutions have been employed or have been emerged to contribute to the goal of the BRI. So, my expectation is to the with the PM Anwaarul Haq Kakar Sahab, so he must have to meet with the. He's definitely going to meet the Chinese financial institutions such as Silk Road Fund, Chinese Development Bank, Chinese Exim Bank. Then is the Asian Infrastructure and Investment Bank, AIBB, where there is also in the China, New Development Bank, NDB, and then the Industrial Commercial Bank in China, ICBC, which is very much important in the infrastructure and for the foreign direct investment, because the whole of the foreign direct investment through the Central Asia, where if the Saudi Arabia, if the Iran, and if the Central Asian state is covering over there, because all these banks, what I'm telling you, is the Chinese Central Bank, the People Bank of the China, or the Ministry of the Commerce, MOFO, OMC, or OFDI, or if it is talking about the goal and the policy, Ministry of the Foreign Affairs, the Prime Minister Kakar is going to meet all these, because foreign direct investment, all of the Southeast Asia must come through this way.
Of course, that is very important. And Brigadier Malik, one of the important aspects of this important forum is inviting third parties for investments. So what is the significance of third party investments for Pakistan's economic development? And in your opinion, what opportunities and challenges does it represent for Pakistan?
I think the establishment of ISFC has been a very landmark event for Pakistan revival of economy.
Right.
And taking a clue from that, I think Prime Minister would be well prepared to offer different sectors for foreign direct investment by third party. And I think they have also already highlighted 4 sectors, that is IT, agriculture, large scale manufacturing, and mining. And I think telecom is also one of the sectors where lot of investment can come from the third party. Now, BRF provides an ideal platform for Pakistan, and I think our Premier would be well equipped to offer certain incentives to the, not only to the businessmen, but also to the investors worldwide. And I think on one side where India was trying to isolate Pakistan, and this is, I think, a landmark opportunity available to Pakistan, where China helped Pakistan to
and foreign policy win as well for Pakistan.
Yes, surely.
Of course.
It is a great win, because now where the delegates of 150 countries are available to you to interact, to communicate, and
what's your
offer to
take
them.
on Prime Minister's meeting with these important world leaders? What are Pakistan's strategic objectives in these meetings? And
I think
what are
most
your
important meeting for ourselves and Pakistan is with the Chinese Premier and the Russian Premier.
Right.
Because we have seen they have a mindset for a shared global development around the world. And there is also a mindset they want that the global south is being marginalized, not given that opportunities. And Pakistan is also one of that country which is not being its due share for progress, for its promotion of economy, its regional connectivity. And I think our strategic objective should be first geo-economic centric, that we should ask people to come to Pakistan, invest here. We have a huge youth bulge.
True.
So that is available. Then we also had good technological support available for establishment of different factories. Now the energy crisis has also been almost overcome, and regional connectivity also. And I think on one side we have the energy available in Gulf, on the other side Turkmenistan and the Central Asian state, the Silk Route moving through Pakistan. These are few aspects which can be, from commerce point of view, can be shown as incentive to the third party investment. And our geostrategic now, I think the priorities and strategies should be, we should try to have revival of our economy. And with a strong economy, naturally our geopolitical influence will be more, not only in the region but globally also.
Of course.
And I think our Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well as Premier will be well equipped, and there will be, when talks on the table, I think Pakistan interest will be safeguarded, and we will be promoting our very friendly response in the region also, and we want progress and economic development in the region and no tension and conflict.
But there have been some challenges as well. So do you expect some breakthrough while when we talk about implementation of some of the initiatives?
Yes, surely, because the other international organization, what we see, they are a hegemonic attitude of global power or regional power. But this is one of the forums where China is promoting the mutual respect and mutual cooperation for each state of BRI. And they have done it also in the past 10 years. And what I see, that in next 5 or 10 years, there will be a new world order in the world, where people will be more focused on the people-to-people contact, people-to-people progress and development. And surely this provides Pakistan an ideal opportunity to not only have its interests safeguarded, but also have more influence on the other region also, on the other countries also. And Pakistan foreign policy and foreign policy presently, what we see, that is geo-economic centric. We want revival of economy. We want that our human progress should be there. We must progress first, and then we should safeguard our defense and other aspects.
Of course, and when we talk about revival of economy, we know that China has been one of the biggest investors in Pakistan regarding when we talk about projects like CPAC. How do you see these projects have evolved over time, because we are celebrating 10 years of the launch of CPAC, and what are some of the new ventures regarding which you are more excited about?
Well, if we want to compare the projects or gauge the performance of CPAC, we need to compare when it started and what is now happening in Pakistan. When CPAC started, there was energy crisis, there were economic turmoil in Pakistan, and we were not sure in which direction we are heading. But now, Brigadier Saab rightly mentioned that energy crisis is almost over. Our economy is in a good shape from where we can take off. So it's a good progress in terms of CPAC. What we need to do is we need to expand this phase, and we need to have this that infrastructure we built in first phase. We need to capitalize on that infrastructure, and now we need to expand in a sense that we are bringing more and more investors, and we are diversifying our investment portfolio coming into the Pakistan. I would say that GCC coming into Pakistan under the initiative of SIFC, China can ensure that Pakistan have a perfect sort of mixture of infrastructure and capacities of our labor and of our capital, so that we can help out GCC countries capitalizing their investments. I would say that GCC countries, they are vulnerable in terms of food security. What Pakistan can provide, there are barren lands. We can provide them with corporate farming opportunities. China can help providing the technology, and GCC countries can provide us the much needed finances. The combination of these three things, financing coming from GCC, abilities and capacities coming from the China, and the labor coming from the Pakistan and management, that could be a potential game changer for this whole region, Pakistan, China, and GCCs. That would be a very,
and beyond as well.
Beyond this
With
as well,
of
African region as
Europe.
well. That would be important in terms of geopolitics. That would be important in terms of geo-economics. And if we maintain this connectivity route in terms of ancient Silk Route and modern BRI, that would be very catalytic and very, I would say, multiplier effect for the region in terms of not only economy, energy, and other sectors.
And that is going to be addressing some of the security challenges that the region is experiencing at the moment. Lastly, Dr. Hassan, looking forward, how do you see this important visit strengthening economic ties between Pakistan and China and attracting FDI from China and beyond?
So it is all about the foreign direct investment from the China, and I'm very much, it is promising under the SAFC program, and I really appreciate General Asim Munisa on that, because the China-Pakistan economic corridor was envisaged, and we are the Pakistan military is the guarantor for all that. So as comprehensive and long-term project with the key objectives of the upgrade transport and communication infrastructure, enhance connectivity, ensure energy security, promotion of industrialization, which is very much important, and SAFC is most focused on the industrialization, modernize agriculture, which is their focus and main objective of the SIFC, and contribute to the nation's socio-economic development and agenda. So as the comprehensive program which has been done so far is the Suki Kenari hydropower project, and the Northwest Pakistan achieved the hosting of the core component as a 413-ton rotor crucial, and the turning water into the electricity was smoothly installed on the last of the 4 generating units, and then is the successful hoisting of the last rotor will help advance the construction of the progress of the power station under the China-Pakistan economic corridor located in the Mansehra district of the South Asia country, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. And also there are multiple effects of the special economic zone, and the most focus, you will see the foreign direct investment replicate very soon and accommodating in the 9 economic zone very soon, which would be the great milestone coming soon.
Right. Thank you very much, Dr. Sen Javed, for joining us in today's program. Thank you very much, Brigadier Hamid Malik, for joining us in today's program. Thank you very much, Dr. Khalid Waleed, for joining us in today's program. Of course, we talked about the important visit of Interim Prime Minister Anwaarul Haq Kakar to China, where he's set to meet President Xi, as well as important world leaders, including the President of Russia, Putin, as well. And this is in the context of, in the backdrop of the ongoing celebrations of 10 years of launch of China-Pakistan economic corridor, and this important visit is important for the future of Pakistan and the region as well. That's all from Game Changer tonight. Take care. Allah Hafiz.